choking a coach, a $62 million contract, fined a record $250,000 by the New York Knicks, and averaging 26 points in the NBA Finals. Latrell Sprewell has done all of these things, and plenty more. This video will cover the insane highs and lows of the life and career of one of the NBA's most intriguing and exciting players in the 90s and early 2000s. Latrell Sprewell was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin in 1970, but moved as a young child to Flint, Michigan. However, after his parents separated in his sophomore year of high school, he returned to Milwaukee with his mother, where he would play organized basketball for the first time in his entire life. It was his senior year of high school, and Sprewell was asked to try out for the team in the hallway of Washington High School by his basketball coach. Latrell would not only make the team, but he would dominate and average 28 points per game. But with only 1 year of organized basketball in high school, Sprewell was not recruited by top colleges, and instead spent 2 years at Three Rivers Junior College. He would continue to play well and earned a reputation as an extremely hard worker who was tireless on the basketball court and a dominant defensive player who could guard multiple positions. The University of Alabama recognized this talent and invited him to transfer over. Sprewell obliged and spent his last 2 years at Alabama averaging 17.8 points, 5.2 rebounds, 2.1 assists, and 1.8 steals per game on 59.6% true shooting. The Golden State Warriors would reach for Sprewell in the draft and take him 24th overall, getting an absolute steal, as Sprewell would go on to score the second most points in his draft, record the most assists, and finish 7th in total win shares for his class, production that far exceeds your average 24th pick. Latrell Sprewell would deliver in his rookie year, as he became the first rookie in Golden State Warriors history to record 1,000 points, 250 rebounds, 250 assists, 100 steals, and 50 blocks in their first season. This amazing rookie campaign would usually earn a player Rookie of the Year, but the dominance of Shaquille O'Neal would overshadow Sprewell and dominate the news and storylines of the year. Latrell would go on to make the All-Star game in his second, third, and fifth seasons with the Warriors. He would also make first-team All-NBA in only his second year, with an amazing all-round stat line of 23.2 points, 4.9 rebounds, 4.7 assists, 2.2 steals, and 0.9 blocks per game. Alongside this amazing level of production, he led the league in minutes played, playing an astounding 43.1 minutes per game. Sprewell's game style was very similar to Lance Stevenson. He was a tough, gritty and determined wing who could score in a variety of ways and play with a passion and edge on defense. Peak Sprewell was definitely more talented than Lance though, and he had a refined post-game full of fadeaways and up and unders, as well as being a solid three-point shooter when he was healthy. One slight on Sprewell and his style of play was that he wasn't super efficient, with a career true shooting percentage of only 51.6. But this was as much a reflection on the league in general, as players didn't value threes as much, and there was a huge emphasis on ISO scoring and defense in the 90s and early 2000s. As a result of his fantastic play, all-star appearances, making first-team All-NBA, and his potential, the Warriors signed Sprewell to a 4-year, $32 million deal in the offseason of 1996. Sprewell would go on to have the best season of his career the year after, before things went off the rails for the first time in his career. To put it simply, Latrell Sprewell did not get along with his new head coach, PJ Carlesimo, and was very public in his criticism of his new coach. Things deteriorated quickly as Sprewell was benched for laughing during a timeout and then thrown out of practice for ignoring Carlesimo. Finally, things would explode when Sprewell was reprimanded in practice for a poor effort. Latrell reportedly launched at his coach and grabbed him by the throat as he demanded a trade. And he said if he didn't get one, he would kill PJ. He would be pulled off by other players and head to the locker room, before reportedly returning and punching Carlesimo on the neck. However, Sprewell would deny the last part of his dark tale. The NBA had once had a very bad boy image, and was attempting to clean up their act as they transitioned to a worldwide and massive sports league platform. They came down hard on Sprewell, and the Warriors attempted to void his entire contract, which would have cost Latrell $25 million. Sprewell took the case to independent arbitration, and the contract being void was overturned. Instead, Sprewell was suspended by the league without pay for the remainder of the season, which was a total of 68 games. Following his suspension, Latrell was traded to the Knicks during the 1998 lockout. A change of scenery would do wonders for Spree, as he vowed to be a better person and reform his character and behaviour. The lockout would end, and Sprewell would deliver on his promise. He started by coming off the bench as a plug-in scorer, but eventually gained a bigger role on the team and began to start. The New York Knicks would sneak into the playoffs as the 8th seed, and go on one of the most historic runs in NBA history. Led by Patrick Ewing and Latrell Sprewell, the New York Knicks would make the NBA Finals, where they would lose in 5 valiant games to the San Antonio Spurs. Latrell averaged 26 points in low-scoring games, played amazing defense, and scored 35 points in a 77-78 point loss as the Spurs closed out Game 5 and won the title. Despite the loss in the finals, Sprewell had established himself on the NBA main stage. He was now a household name, and his dreads, tough play, and will to win were associated with his name. Previous incidents had faded into the background, and life seemed great for Sprewell. He signed a 5-year, $62 million deal that solidified his total career earnings to over $100 million. But a semi-disaster would strike Sprewell when he was traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves in the 2003 offseason. Latrell was reportedly devastated by the trade, as he had formed a strong connection to New York and the Garden, calling it his second home. He returned to Madison Square Garden for the first time since the trade in 2017, and expressed the emotions he went through during the trade.
Well, I can't tell you why I haven't been back here, but I'll tell you when I left, I was not happy. New York is like a second home for me. I love the fans here. The fans have embraced me, and there's no place like the Garden to play in. So, who wouldn't want to play at the Garden? So I was definitely disappointed, but, I had fun in Minnesota, too. We had a good run there with KG and Sam and myself. So, it's just the nature of the beast when you're, an NBA player. You just have to deal with it. And, I'm just happy to be back now, though.
However, the first season of Sprewell's Minnesota career was hugely successful, as he, Sam Cassell, and Kevin Garnett formed the highest scoring trio in the league. They finished with a record of 58-24 and in the first seed of the Western Conference. Latrell would play well the whole playoffs and averaged 19.9 points for the playoffs. He also scored 34 points in the crucial Game 5 victory against the Sacramento Kings in the second round. The series had been tied at 2-2, and Sprewell's performance spurred the Timberwolves to victory and into the next round. However, the Timberwolves would lose to the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals and fail to make the NBA Finals for the first time in franchise history. Following the most successful season in Timberwolves history, Sprewell was offered a contract extension of 3 years at $7 million per year. This was approximately half his current yearly salary, and Spree took great offense to the extension offer, saying that, "I have a family to feed. If Glenn Taylor wants to see my family fed, he better cough up some money. Otherwise, you're going to see these kids in one of those Sally Struthers commercials soon." Following this statement, he declined the extension and played the worst season of his career the next year. Interest in signing Sprewell was expressed by the Denver Nuggets, Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Houston Rockets, as he could clearly still play, but the offers had dropped down even further, down to the veteran minimum, and Sprewell's agent said that Sprewell would not sign for anything less than $5 million a year, as that was beneath Latrell's level. His agent was right. Sprewell would never sign another deal in the NBA, and his career would end when he still had plenty to give and money to earn. I think this is a sad reflection upon the education NBA players receive on finance and monetary management. Sprewell would eventually foreclose on his Milwaukee property in 2008, and his yacht was seized in 2007 by federal marshals. Sprewell may be fine financially, and have just let these investments fail. However, it is not a sign of a strong financial position, and Spree could be facing difficulty. Luckily, the NBA has a pension system in place which entitles players to benefits once they have played 3 seasons, and the maximum benefit after 10 seasons. The average benefits received are $69,000 annually, meaning that Sprewell should never be financially broke. This is an amazing incentive from the league to ensure their players are protected from complete financial ruin. Overall, Sprewell's story is an incredibly interesting one, and I think it is a shame he is predominantly remembered for the choking incident. It should be noted, but one bad incident does not ruin a person, and in today's social media frenzy, we can be quick to judge and remember people on one act only. We should strive to remember Latrell for his excellent play on the court and the excitement he brought fans for many years. His story also serves as a warning for many young players in the league and the NBA Players Association itself. Measures must be put in place to help ensure that players get sound financial advice and fully understand their wealth and the potential for them to lose it. The pension fund is a great step in this direction, but more education could be done to ensure the security of players' financial futures. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed researching it. If you did, please leave a like and be sure to subscribe for more NBA videos. And if you have any interesting stories on Latrell Sprewell or any suggestions for future videos or players you would like covered, then leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.